I wanted to show you this video of Tulsi Gabbard supporting Joe Biden and then talk about some of the possible reasons why she chose to support Biden. Because to be honest, it doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of sense. Let's go ahead and watch.
Our nation is facing an unprecedented global crisis that highlights the inextricable bonds of humanity and how foreign policy and domestic policy are inseparable. We are all in this together, and we must all rise to meet this moment in service to our country and our fellow man. This is not the first time that we have faced adversity together, and it will not be the last. After the terrorist attack by Al-Qaeda on our country on 9/11, we stood together as Americans, motivated to serve, marshaling our forces to defeat our common enemy. I and so many Americans all across this country enlisted in the military to do just that. Likewise, today, as Americans and all of humanity, we face a common enemy. It is once again time as Americans and as neighbors in this global community that we stand together once again and work hand in hand to defeat this new enemy, the coronavirus. Throughout my life and throughout this campaign, my motivation has been to serve God, our country, and the American people as best I can. I feel that the best way that I can be of service at this time is to continue to work for the health and well-being of the people of Hawaii and our country in Congress, and to stand ready to serve in uniform should the Hawaii National Guard be activated. Now, after Tuesday's election, it's clear that Democratic primary voters have chosen Vice President Joe Biden to be the person who will take on President Trump in the general election. I know Vice President Biden and his wife, and I'm grateful to have called his son, Beau, a friend who also served in the National Guard. Now, although I may not agree with the Vice President on every issue, I know that he has a good heart, and he's motivated by his love for our country and the American people. I'm confident that he will lead our country guided by the spirit of aloha, respect, and compassion, and thus help heal the divisiveness that has been tearing our country apart. So today, I'm suspending my presidential campaign and offering my full support to Vice President Joe Biden in his quest to bring our country together. I will continue to advocate for a 21st century foreign policy, one that's based on mutual respect and cooperation instead of confrontation, where we as a community of nations can work together to overcome the great challenges that our people face, preventing and stopping pandemics like the coronavirus that is now affecting all of us, tackling climate change, combating terrorism, removing the existential threat of nuclear war that hangs over the heads of all of us. I will continue to do everything that I can to help bring about an end to the new Cold War and nuclear arms race and end regime change wars, which are costing us trillions of dollars, so that we can invest these precious resources in the needs of the American people. Things like healthcare, rebuilding our infrastructure, education, and so much more. I want to extend my best wishes to my friends, Senator Bernie Sanders, his wife Jane, Nina Turner, and their many supporters for the work that they've done. I have such a great appreciation for Senator Sanders' love for our country and the American people, and his sincere desire to improve the lives of all Americans. To the many people all across our country who've dedicated their time and energy and resources to my campaign, working tirelessly to help get our message out, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to speaking to you more in the coming days about why I made this decision and how we can continue to work together for our common cause.
Okay, so she discusses a common enemy, the coronavirus. Okay, this begs the question, would she actually be dropping out if it wasn't for the coronavirus? Would she be endorsing Joe Biden if it wasn't for the coronavirus? She talks a lot about how she knows Joe and how she knows his wife. And that also talks about the sun bow, how they both serve together. Okay. Again, why does policy always take a backseat to these types of things? Her main message that she ran on, she talked about regime change. She talked about the United States pushing for regime change and getting involved in these wars. Can I understand? Biden voted for the Iraq War, while Bernie did not. Tulsi has been outspoken about Israel and about how they keep pushing Palestinians out of the country. Bernie has spoken up for the Palestinians. Joe Biden has not. She seems like someone who cares about civil liberties, but Joe Biden voted to expand the Patriot Act, while Bernie Sanders did not. So when it comes to the idea of policy, like, is that something that is actually really important to Tulsi? And Tulsi's brother tweeted out something along the lines of how the Bernie administration didn't treat her sister that kindly. Or, the Bernie campaign, the Bernie Sanders campaign didn't treat his sister that kindly. Can you understand? It shouldn't matter if your focus is on policy. Those personal things shouldn't really play into consideration, but it looks like for Tulsi, they definitely did. Understand, Tulsi is someone who tried to excuse CIA torture back in the day. This is someone who doesn't seem like she has a lot of principles. If it was all about principle, it would have made more sense for her to endorse Bernie. And I understand Joe Biden, if he wins the nomination, I'm going to vote for him. I will never vote for Trump. I think that Trump is an incredibly dangerous president. He's handled this coronavirus very poorly. He could have been pushing for more supplies and more tests, respirators, masks, those types of things, those types of supplies. He could have been pushing for that in January, but instead he discussed how this whole thing was a Democratic hoax. I will vote for Biden, but I don't think he's the best candidate. He voted for NAFTA. He was in support of the TPP. He wanted to extend the Patriot Act. He voted for all types of wars. He might have a nice personality and might be good at getting along with people, but the current medical system needs to improve, and it needs to allow for a single payer system. That's just not going to happen under Joe Biden. It's interesting that Tulsi endorsed him at this point. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. There'll be more videos coming out on history and politics. Thanks for watching.